So here we have the final finished masking. As you can see, I've used a bit of a mixture of the Tamiya and the painter's tape. In some cases I've overran edges with the Tamiya. You also notice here I use some sticky tack for the curved edge on the tail. I'll talk more about use of sticky tack for camouflage probably in the next video after I do the next coat of paint. So with that, I'm going to go do that, and I'll be back and we can talk more about camouflage. So I've finished doing the first camouflage color layer. I actually ended up changing the color because after looking at it in the bottle and looking at the original Tamiya color and the color I actually ended up going with, this color actually was closer to the Tamiya. So that's a lesson to you. Just because an online tool says one color is equal to that, it's still always good to actually look at the product both online and offline, and also more importantly check your sources. So now begins the interesting part, and that is doing the mask. Now for this you want to pay attention to the instructions, as the instructions fortunately give us a couple different close-up view, which will be good for the sides, and a smaller top-down, which is where we're going to start. Now, as I said before, I'm going to be using sticky tack for this, as it's malleable, it's easy to move around and play with. So I'm just going to get a fairly good sized chunk going. Now, you generally want to pick out a starting location that, in your opinion, will be fairly easy to go and start building a base up. In this case, I'm going to be starting with the right wing, since it's has this just one clear, even panel. Now, there's two ways to do this. One way is to mix regular masking tape and the sticky tack, using the masking tape down first to fill in some of the larger areas or straight areas, just to sort of build up the base, and then use the sticky tack to outline stuff. But the method I prefer is to use just sticky tack. You do end up using more sticky tack for this, but overall I think it does a better job. Okay, so once you have your sticky tack ready to go, you want to first try to, just in your hand, mile out a rough shaping, and then you can fix it up. And one nice thing about the sticky tack is it's easy to redo if you screw up. Okay, so again, much as with the regular masking tape, you want to try to base your sticking pattern based on panel lines and so forth, to try to get out a rough shaping, and or more, I mean, basically to tell where stuff should be and so forth. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's first panel down. I'm doing good for time. Alright. Again, you want to constantly try and keep your sticky tack fresh, so just keep kneading it as need be. Okay. Now the hard part is when you start running low and you start trying to peel off excess from other sections. That's when it gets a little tougher. Okay. And do this section by the engine, which is a little odder. Okay. Oops. A little further over there. Okay. And again, you just want to try and get it down. And as I said before, pay attention to the instructions as much as you can. Now, fair warning, short of blowing up a copy and of the instructions and printing it off and using that as a masking base, you're not going to get exactly the same. Now, depending on the exact nature of the aircraft, i.e. what your references say, and so forth, going with the blow it up option may be a better choice, as I know they actually have a set where the decals are partially color based, so do need to pay attention to stuff like that. Okay, now still doing alright for time. Now, unfortunately, this is actually fairly cheap sticky tack, so yeah, this I'm definitely not gonna buy this particular brand of sticky tack again, as this stuff's pretty cheap, and fortunately, as you probably saw a little earlier when I was molding it out, it wants to, instead of just be a quick give, it wants to sort of flake, as you see here. So, listen to you, sometimes it's worthwhile to spend a little more to get a little more. And looks like I'm just about out of time, so I'll save what's left on here to show the finished masking job. So here we have the finished mask. Some general tips I can advise. One of the best tools you can use is actually your fingers. By far, it's one of the best tools to do any type of shaping that you need to do. Other than that, just really any object that meets the particular shape that you're looking for will do. And again, you want to make sure everything's nice and down before you're painting. Again, depending on the exact finish you're going for, whether you want a soft feathered edge or a hard edge, will depend on the angles you come at. So I'm out of time on this tape, or this video, so come back and we'll start unmasking.